Hey guys, TechTucker here today, and in today's episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some of the more rare and expensive items in my collection. Yeah, it's not one of those things to brag. It's just document it, go over what I've got, explain some of the circumstances as to how I got it. Because again, a lot of it, good deals and whatnot. Yeah, it's quite exciting. So I'll show you a glimpse of what I've got. These are just some of the games that I'm going to talk about today. As you can see, you're seeing some rare stuff in there just off the top of that video. So I'm going to start off strong, and I'm going to go through some of the limited stuff I've got for the Switch, for example. So again, these are the types of games that I have on the Switch are rare. It's kind of hard to gauge what's rare on a modern platform, I would say, at the minute, just while they're still going on essentially. So this one here, Shelter Generations. So this one I did buy when it came out, super rare games. I just saw an advert for it on Facebook one day, and so I clicked the link. I'm like, oh, only £30, one in 3,000. Why not? I had more money than sense at that point. So when I picked this one up, it was just the £30, but since then this one has went up in value quite significantly. I think I've seen complete listings for around £200 in brand new sealed condition at this stage. So that's a good one to definitely have. And then this is one that I did buy, after it was released, which is River City Girls on the Nintendo Switch. Again, the limited run games version. I've still got it sealed. It's something that I do want to play, but it's one of those ones. This one is quite rare at this stage and getting expensive. So I'll put some comps at the side there, but yeah, it's been a while since I did like this one. The last time I checked it up, it was about going over £80 roughly. I did buy it about £60 with the soundtrack, the soundtrack sample as well. I can't remember how many years ago that was now. But yeah, that was one I was looking at there. And Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is one that I did buy directly from Limited Run Games. As you can see there, nice artwork on it. It's just one of those ones. I keep buying limited run and that. I've stopped them in more recent times because I'm buying them. They're just going on the shelf. I'm afraid to open some of them. There's been one or two of them that I have opened up here and there. I got Donut County on the Switch, for example. That's a physical one I decided to open. Yeah, that's just some Switch games there. So again, I've not got any Xbox One or PlayStation 4 or anything in this video. But I do have some Wii U. So again, this one's not super rare or anything. It's just the Amazing Spider-Man Complete Edition on the Nintendo Wii U. I think it does, yeah, it has the pamphlets and the disc, of course. Didn't have the disc, I couldn't really count it as being a rare game in my collection. But yeah, this one, at the time I bought it, it was going for about £50. I bought it for £5 out of a shop called GMB Tech. I think they just had it undervalued. And yeah, I saw it, I was like, ooh, that's a £50 game right there. It may have came down. If it has, again, I'll show that in just a second here. But it's one of those. I just found it out in the wild when I was doing a game hunt. It's like, that's coming home with me. So the next rare game I've got, this one in the America regions isn't that rare compared to the European one. This is one of the games that a lot of Wii U collectors seek out for. I know people have paid 3 figures for this game. On average, I think it does sell for around £150 to £200. This one I did at the same shop actually as Spider-Man, oddly enough. I did find it for £12, and it was sitting there for a very long time. Over the course of the COVID lockdowns and all that, I knew it was sitting there, and as game prices went mental at the time before COVID, it was about a £40 game. Don't know why I left it even then, but for £12 after the lockdowns and the shops reopened, I went straight there. I was like, I know that game is there. I looked initially and didn't find it, then I did it once around again and I saw it sitting there and I couldn't have snatched it fast enough. At that time it was £80 roughly, and now it's went up to £150, £200. I know a lot of people are going for complete Wii U sets at the minute, so Phineas and Ferb is one of those very desirable games. It's a game I'm potentially open to trading or selling at some point. Again, I've not got much attachment to it as a game, but it's one of those ones where I do like the show. I like Phineas and Ferb quite a lot actually. It's a fun cartoon. I watched it growing up, so it's one of those ones. If I was to ever downsize, that'd probably be one of the first things to go. But yeah, if you saw yesterday's video for the Nintendo Wii, new Play Control Pikmin 2. I picked this one up, half cash, half voucher. Again, nice and complete, good condition overall. I am quite happy with that one there. So This one's a very recent addition. I think this one will continue to climb, especially with Pikmin 4 on the horizon. So many people are going to be wanting to get into this series, and rightfully so. I have Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Switch, I have Pikmin the original one on the GameCube, and I never had Pikmin 2. Initially, would rather have it on GameCube, that original release and whatnot, but I'll take having a copy of it on the Wii than not at all. So this one as well, this is a more recent purchase, so I've not got around to playing it. I do know it's like a platformer hack and slash game, I believe. This one was with CEX Trades as well. Again, I bought it because it was complete. Muramasa, sorry, the Demon Blade. This game looks awesome. I believe there's talks of a remaster and whatnot. Again, the company and who developed it say it's a difficult one, but I think if there isn't a remaster or anything, this one is just going to continue to climb, and even if there is one in the future, again, I think this game's going to be very desirable, very collectible. I think I bought this for £35. I think it goes for around that. Doesn't go for too much more, but that's one of those ones where, again, it's quite rare, obscure, doesn't come around very often. So next game I've got here is I Be the Key. I believe this one is going to just keep climbing up and climbing up. I found this in CEX a few years ago for about £8. I'm going to open that up. Yeah, so again, I typically go for complete if I can help it. Again, good condition disc and all that. So this one I think goes for around £30 these days. It is one of those ones where, again, it's just obscure, not many people know about it. I know Yuji Naka, the man who did Insider Trading, that great fellow, did lend his hand in creating this, from the creator of Sonic. So again, that's a good one. So this one next is my rarest Wii game, Beat Rhythm Paradise. This one here I bought off eBay for a very good price even back then. Again, a lot of stuff, like a lot of the rarer items and whatnot. Again, this one is complete, has the inserts in that. I think it was like £10 or something. I didn't pay much, and the only reason I found it and I bought it that cheap is because the seller spelled rhythm wrong in the listing. If I could go through my eBay search history, purchase history, I will grab a screenshot of it because I just so happened to type it wrong as well. And that's how I found this game for an absolute steal. This game is like £60 plus now, and I see that just continue to climb and climb because it's a late Wii release, first party Nintendo title, and a good game at that. So it's just gonna keep climbing. So now we're going to talk about GameCube. So with GameCube, a lot of the games have, shot up in recent years as well. Again, with like the pandemic and all that, nostalgia for GameCube being hot right now. So one of these rare games I've got, Mario Party 7. I do have all the Mario Parties now, minus a couple of handheld ones. But I got this as a Christmas gift because I asked for Christmas one year. I did go Mario Party 7 or Kirby Air Raid. And I got Mario Party 7. So recently I have picked up a Japanese copy of Kirby Air Raid. I'm at the stage where these ludicrously priced games, I'll just get a freeloader, pay a fraction of the price just to experience the games, because Kirby Air Raid is one I grew up with, but it's my brother has that game, it's not actually mine, so it's one of those where I've still got the original childhood copy. But yeah, Mario Party 7 a few years ago as a Christmas gift. Again, a good game to pick up. This one, I believe, is going for stupid money now, at least £80 minimum. But it is something. Mario Party 7, I don't think it is the best one in all honesty. Some of the better ones are the Nintendo 64 ones. But the next one I'm going to talk about, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Again, everyone knows about this game. It's very desirable. Again, complete there, disc and manual. I got this in a lot of GameCube games, again, pre-pandemic. This was very close to the pandemic at that. I paid £300 for just a lot of GameCube games, pretty much covering like all the first-party Nintendo titles, including this. This one I did pay £80 for within that bundle, and after that point I was basically paying market value for them, but I just wanted to have those games at this stage. So when I did buy the bundle, I was happy enough, and then COVID happened and everything shut, so I'm like, I'm glad I bought that bundle when I did. That was a Facebook Marketplace bundle that I did buy that off of. And then the big baddie, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Unfortunately, this one is not complete. However, it's still a massively expensive game. Like, got the disc there, Pokemon XD. This was a gift from my brother for my 21st birthday, and the minute he handed me the gift, he's like, "Oh, I know this is something you wanted." And I just immediately went, "Pokemon XD." I opened it up, and there it was. Again, this is another childhood game. We had an ESRB version of it growing up. We had a freeloader to play it. Great game, really like Pokemon XD. Coliseum as well is a really fun game. I like that one a lot. But generally, that's just how a lot of these rare Nintendo games, like, I just had them growing up, but my brother kept possession of them. So, yeah, gonna move on to some PlayStation stuff now. Alright, so now we're gonna talk about some PlayStation games. So, I do have, I'd say I've got a good selection of games to discuss here for the PlayStation 1. So, let's just get straight into it. No one can stop Mr. Domino. This one is just obscure, it's random, it's weird. It's one of those. It's quite desirable now, I'd say. Got the manual in hand, discing that as well. But yeah, I bought this off eBay off the back of watching the TechTucker video on it. I just thought it looked really fun. It was an interesting purchase. I think it's cost me like £20 back when I did buy it. And yeah, this one's again going for like close to £100 now, which is insane to me. Like, things I just picked up, I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, you know. Never thought they would really gain that much value. Like, I never thought game collecting would become a hobby that is as expensive as it is. Like, I went for it partially because it was cheaper, but everything's so expensive. So this next one here, the Vib Ribbon, similar circumstances. I watched a TechTucker's video on it. I was like, this game looks very interesting. It looks fun, and yeah, I went for quite the journey to get this game. Again, it's got the map, the manual. So there's the manual here. Getting that, like, the control scheme. Well, I don't know, it's a weird, you know, the map here, and of course the disc. So with Vib Ribbon, I bought this from CEX, one that was quite far away. I had to walk quite the distance to get this. I travelled down to train on, you know, through the train on Edinburgh, and then it was in the Leith CEX for £40 back in 2019. So £40 was pretty much bang on what it was worth back then, and I did pick it up. And as you can see, I'm holding it, I suppose. But you know, that's exactly what it was worth. Picked it up, and yeah, it's just such a random, fun, obscure game. That's kind of my jam, you know, the obscure, the random, the weird. That's what, you know, gets me interested in a video game. And as I say, that one has shot up in value as well. I don't know why people are paying this money for things. Like, they're so easily accessible via emulation, but I can't say anything. I'm, you know, part of the problem. I'm buying these games myself. So next rare game, Jammer Lammy. So this one as well, just an eBay purchase one day. I did buy, not buy a nicer case, but I bought a game to give, you know, sacrifice a beat up case. So I think I did, this one is complete. Manual, you know, the disc as well here. This one I did pick up off eBay for approximately £40 way back when. I think, again, this was back in 2019. I was really into PlayStation 1 collecting back in 2019. That was my main system I focused on. I just bought like every heavy hitter title because I had more money than sense at that point. That's where all my disposable income was essentially going, just bulking up my collection for all the games that, you know, I was future-proofing myself. The way I see it is, even if I don't play a game right away, you know, it's an investment in future entertainment. If it picks up in value, great. If it loses value, I don't care. It's a game I'm interested in playing, so, you know, no big deal. So another one, Silent Hill. So I'm going to cover some other Silent Hill games in this video as well. This one doesn't have the manual, unfortunately, but is original release. I will avoid Platinum in all instances. I don't like it. It's such an eyesore. Unless it means a huge price difference, then, you know, obviously I'm going to do that. But I played some Silent Hill. I like the game, but I just found, you know, the hidden items, like there was a map in the school. I could not see it for the life of me. But this is a fun series. I'm looking forward to the Resident Evil, silly me. The Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm going to pick that one up for sure. But this is one of those games where I bought it at Comic-Con one time for like £35. That was an inflated price back then, but I bought a lot of stuff off the person, so I did work a deal to make it a little less painful. But boy, am I glad I paid that £35 now, because this game, again, is like £70 minimum. I think for the original release it can go up to like £100, especially if it has the manual. So the next game I'm going to talk about here is The Grinch. So this one isn't that rare. It is definitely uncommon. But this one, oops, I've got a receipt just saying The Grinch, £26. Yeah, that's just, it was complete when I picked this up. If it didn't have like the manual and that, I may have left it, because it wasn't too far off market value. I bought this back in January actually, so just after Christmas, and here I am picking up like The Grinch. But I was in Birmingham. The case is a little broken on this one, so I might swap that out. Yeah, I bought this in Birmingham. I was there for a work thing. And I just looked around some of the local shops. I'm going back there next month, so I should do another game hunt video there and show some of the areas I check out. Yeah, I found this there. This sells complete, in this condition for anything from like £40 to £50, which again is basically double my money if I wanted to sell it. Which again, no, this is one I just wanted to have. It looked interesting, and I love PlayStation One. I like the cases. I like the way the art is. I like the graphics. I like the gameplay, even if it's clunky. But PlayStation for me, it's nostalgia. I like it. So this game here, it's not necessarily valuable, but it is becoming it's climbing up there for some reason. Space World, again, it's one of those games I have absolutely no clue why it's climbing up. I don't know why anyone would want this. Got the manual here. I did get this at like a charity shop for like £2-3 or something. Again, if there's any PlayStation game that isn't a sports title for approximately that price, I'll pick it up. But main thing with Space World is this one just keeps climbing. I think last time I checked its value, it was like £30 or so. Yeah, it's just insane. I don't know why anyone wants this shit, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, that's that one. So this one here, so Nanotech Warrior. This game isn't that. It's definitely uncommon. It's not that expensive. I believe it does sell for around £20 to £30. So apologies if there is a glare in some of the cases. Got the manual. This one was a very nice condition. I was willing to pay upmarket just a little bit for this one. Well, I'll say a little bit. I had to buy my copy from Italy. I was looking daily for this game for approximately 3 or 4 months. It was in the Metal Jesus Rocks Hidden Gems video. I was like, that game looks incredibly fun. I've played it. I've not beat it. I have had a few goes at it. It's very arcadey style. It's quite tricky, I would say. It's not easy. But I really enjoyed my time with this game so far, and I can't wait to pick it up again at some point. But it's one of those ones where it is arcade, so you play through the beginning to, there's only so much you can take in one sitting. But yeah, I had to pay £50 and import this from Italy. It was there, that was the only one on eBay in the UK at least for months. And then as soon as I buy it, it's flooded. Like I found so many copies for like £20 and I'm like, I paid like double. So there's proof that it's one of those things, although I can be cheap when it comes to buying games, it's not a case that I'm, gonna hold off on everything. If I want a game that I really want to play it, I'm willing to pay up a little bit just to have it, which again is fine. I don't everything game collections aren't really investments. There's you buy what you like and you mount a big wall behind you. This one here definitely obscure, not necessarily valuable though. This one fluctuates. I've seen copies sell for like £80 before, but I've seen copies sell for as little as like 10 to 20. I'll show some comps just to see what it is. Yeah, got the manual here. And then Pet and TV, got the disc and everything as well. So this one I did just find in a random shop. I was doing a game hunt one day, about £8. I was just like, I sat on it for a day and then I went back the next day. I was on holiday at this point, well, locally on holiday anyways. But picked, I was like, this game just gives me like Hey You Pikachu vibes. I've not actually tried this one out, so I just did buy it. I'm like, this is so obscure, it's something I've got to try out someday. If I don't find it again, then I'll be kicking myself, being like, what is this game? But yeah, picked up for like £8 randomly. It's one of those ones. Very, very strange. So this next game, Klonoa. Everyone knows Klonoa, or at least most game collectors do. I paid £75 off eBay for this one. Again, I just paid what it's worth at the time. I think it's climbed up a bit now. I don't have the manual, but I do indeed have the demo disc at the very least. And yeah, it's one of those ones I just picked up. Klonoa looked really fun and interesting. I'd seen a few videos on the back of it. I was like, I've got to pick this up. I do have the whatever you call it, the Reverie series on PlayStation 5. It's sitting on the shelf over there. I won't grab it because I did go out of frame, but yeah, picked up that one. It's just one of those ones. It's a fun game. I do like Klonoa, so I'm quite pleased to have that in the collection. So this one itself, Wu-Tang Taste the Pain, isn't necessarily rare in itself, but when you have the controller that goes with it, then you're sitting on something pretty rare here. So this I did find in an eBay lot. The game is upside down. The game and the controller I paid £40 for back in like 2019 again when I was hard into my PlayStation 1 collecting. So yeah, this controller is uncomfortable, it's bulky, the buttons feel crap. Like, this is not a good controller. I can see why it's collectible though. If you're a Wu-Tang fan, then this would be a great talking piece for your Wu-Tang collection and whatnot. But yeah, this controller is awful, but it is collectible. I've seen it sell for like 3 figures. It's one of those. It's a very cool piece. PlayStation 1 memorabilia and that. It's hard to come by things, radical controllers like this for a good price these days. So I'm very happy to have this, even if it's not entirely practical, as you can see. Like, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to PlayStation 2 in just a moment. Alright, so let's look at the PlayStation 2 games. So I don't have many like I consider rare or anything like that from what I've seen. So I will just give a quick shout out to like the Silent Hill games. These aren't too valuable. I think 3 is definitely up there. 4 is not too bad, I don't think, in Silent Hill 2. That is one of those ones that, yeah, I think this one will probably drop a bit when the remake comes out. And another game that I'm seeing is quite hard to come by, the Rapper 2. This game feels incredibly light despite having like a map and the disc, of course. Usually it does feel heavier than this, but yeah, just a quick shout out to the Rapper 2 as well. They're probably my rarest PlayStation 2 games. So I'll look at original Xbox games. Similar situation where nothing too rare. Got Jet Set Radio Future, probably the most valuable original Xbox game I've got, because it does have the manual and the disc. The original release, the combo pack of this isn't that expensive, but yeah, if you've got the original copy in very nice condition, the disc is basically spotless, and the manual's pristine as well in this copy. I've seen complete copies of this sell for approximately £60 before, but I'd say more on average it probably sells for approximately 40. So just a quick shout out to a couple of other games as well, Futurama and Godzilla. Oops, there we go. So Futurama is one of those ones. It doesn't have a manual, but I know it has like an exclusive episode on it. Quite like Futurama, Family Guy, Simpsons, and all that. And then you've got Godzilla Save the Earth. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee is quite rare on original Xbox. This one, again, not too expensive, but definitely not one you see every day. So again, if you find this one cheap, I think it does go for about £30 or so, so definitely pick it up. So this next game, I don't have too many like NES, Mega Drive, SNES era games that are particularly rare, but I do have Skeleton Crew here. This one, I was looking up like what kind of games to pick up for a Mega Drive. I wanted to collect for it a bit more. I still am kind of trying to collect for it a bit. I do have a rare game on the way. But I've got the cartridge here. The label on the top is peeling off a bit. Aside from that, works fine, looks clean. Yeah, this game I literally bought off eBay for like £20. During the pandemic, actually. Again, it was right at the start before everything completely went nuts. Like, I was buying games with my free money. That's all I was doing. I think everyone had the same idea. So, £20. Now this one can easily go for like £100, and it's really hard to find. It's like an isometric top-down shooter. Again, a great fun title if you are looking for something new and interesting to play on the Mega Drive. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit more about some Nintendo games here. So, Game Boy Advance, I don't have many games, so I will just give a quick shout out to the Pokemon Leaf Green I got a few weeks back. That one's about £60 in value. And then I'll open this case here. Again, more Pokemon. I do have the box for Pokemon Emerald, my childhood copy, in fact, and it is in very nice condition. The cartridge itself is definitely used, and Pokemon Fire Red, of course, as well. Fire Red can fetch like £70 or so. And then Pokemon Emerald, you'll see the label, maybe a bit peeling in the top corner there. Not like the actual label, I mean like the image itself is peeling a bit. So yeah, I don't have much that I would consider rare in the Game Boy Advance. I've just got some Sonic titles and Pokemon. Same goes for Game Boy, so I won't bother showing those. I just have Pokemon pretty much. But on the topic of Game Boy, I'll go over DS and 3DS stuff. I do have the boxed code for Pokemon Crystal. So this box itself, although it's just a box, I don't think many people bought it. I think that's what makes it collectible. So if it were sealed, I think, yeah, that's where it's actually worth something. But other than that, it's just a cardboard box. But again, an obscure cardboard box. So I will go over some 3DS games. I don't have many that, again, I would consider rare, just mostly first-party Nintendo titles on the 3DS. But I do have a couple of ones I want to talk about here. So got the Sega 3D Classics collection. Got that sealed. I really like Puyo Puyo, hence why I wanted this title. One of the Sonic games in 3D as well. Sonic 2 in the 3D looks really great. It plays good, gets Sonic 2. But again, having these games in 3D and the option to play it portably, even though I've got them on the Switch now, like Puyo Puyo 1 and 2 and Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 and 2 as well, and Puyo Puyo Champions. But yeah, really like this 3D collection. It is a great one to have. So again, if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. It is definitely climbing up in value. I did find a website that had a bunch of sealed copies, so I picked one up. Similar to this title, Hatsune Miku. Project Mirai DX, I believe it is. Yep, that's what it is. Again, this one's about climbing up in value for sure. I liked Project Diva Megamix or something on the Switch, so I picked up this one for the 3DS, and it's a pretty good price. It was like £30 at the time. I was like, I'll pick that up because Miku games typically hold their value, so a big weeb over here, if you will. But not much to talk about from the Nintendo DS either, so I'll just give a quick shout out to the Pokemon games here. It won't focus. So again, Pokemon White 2. This one I bought off eBay for £50. I think it's like a £70 game at this stage. Pokemon Soul Silver. Again, I just bought a CX on random spur one day. I do have the big box and the Pokewalker. About £50 that cost me at the time. Pokemon Platinum. Again, similar one. Cost me about £50 off eBay about a year ago. I was going for a complete Pokemon set. Pokemon Heart Gold, about £50 at CX's big box. Didn't have the Pokewalker, but I do have a spare, so that's fine. And then you've also got Pokemon Black 2, which this is probably the big bad. All of the Pokemon games I do have are all complete with manual. I do have every mainline Pokemon game on the DS. I have the Pokemon Ranger series as well, but Pokemon Black 2 can go for silly money as well. I'll show some comps again just to show a more accurate representation of what it's worth. So you may have just heard Pokemon Leaf Greenfall. So I'll quickly go over a couple of N64 games I've got. Again, just mainly Nintendo titles. They all have decent value out of everything. I traded a Switch Lite to get these two games right here. So yeah, good. Let's focus it. Pokemon Stadium 2 and Mario Party 3. My brother was going for boxed copies of N64 games. We had his children, and he got spare copies of this. I was like, I'll give you the Pokemon Sword and Shield Switch Lite in return for Mario Party 3 and Pokemon Stadium 2, which he accepted. So I did buy that Switch Lite brand new, so these probably cost like £200 all in. I bought the case and stuff as well, which I gave to him because I have no purpose for a Switch Lite case. And he was nice enough for Christmas to give me a spare box of Stadium 2, because he bought a second one that had a manual. So he just gifted me the box here. So again, a boxed copy of Stadium 2. Absolutely fantastic. No manual, but I don't care. This makes a great display piece. Again, very nostalgic game for me. We grew up on Pokemon Stadium and we loved the mini games and such. Again, that can fetch a pretty penny, about £200 I believe it can go for in like really nice condition. So this game here, Hercules, I got this in a Facebook Marketplace bundle with a bunch of other N64 games. This was about over a year ago now, maybe a year or two even. But yeah, Hercules is one of those ones where in the States and that it is quite rare, but in the UK it's even more rare. This game can sell for £100 the last time I checked. And in box condition, that one can go for ludicrous money. But yeah, I bought the games, I sold them off for the price paid for the bundle, approximately £80. So I essentially got this game for free. So again, Facebook Marketplace, clearance, whatever. If you saw yesterday's video, I've made the most of that. Got my £115 voucher today even. I traded that in today actually, but yeah, it's just to make the most of your tools around you. You can find great deals if you hunt for them. Alright, so now as the video comes to an end, you'll know if you've seen my game room tour, I have a massive Xbox 360 collection, like 400 games plus. So I definitely do have some rarer titles in there. The Xbox 360 overall doesn't have too many expensive games or anything like that. But I'll give a shout out to collection games like HD trilogies and whatnot. So things like Silent Hill, again these ones are holding value and just climbing up. Silent Hill, Metal Gear is a more recent one that's been climbing up. I think it was delisted. Got Serious Sam collection, that's a great one to have. And then you've got the just Monkey Island like HD collection, which has Monkey Island 1 and 2. Again, these games are just going to hold their value and keep climbing up. A lot of them, it's a definitive way to play them. So I do have some games that I'll give a shout out here, not necessarily valuable, but definitely hard to come by or rare. So this one here, Akai Katana, that is like a shoot 'em up. I think this one, isn't too expensive. I think you can get on a good day for like £15, £30 is roughly where they go for. But I got mine out of CEX again using vouchers. I bought like a Wii with a ton of games from a car boot sale, so it pretty much paid for itself. I only paid £10 for that bundle, and I got Akai Katana and Death Smiles with the voucher I had. Death Smiles I won't show here because that one's, I would say that out of the two, this is probably the more obscure one, but I do believe it's now got a Japanese physical on the Switch, so that may affect value going forward. But even then, for like Xbox, I think that's going to be the only version you can get of Akai Katana. So this one here, just quite an obscure rare series, Crash Time. So Crash Time 3, definitely the least expensive of the series. But if you ever find these in charity shops, CEX or whatever, well, CEX will have them at full price, I suppose. But car boot sales, anything like that, pick them up. Crash Time 3, again, I'd say this one is about a £10 game, but it's obscure, it's rare, and if you find any others in this series, then, they can go for like £50 a month. I got this at a charity shop for like £2. Just like, I hadn't heard of it, haven't got it, so I'll buy it. So, one as well, Crash of the Titans and Crash Mind Over Mutant. So with these ones, they aren't too expensive at the minute, but these ones I think are just going to keep getting rarer and rarer because Crash Bandicoot's a desirable series, it's popular again. I bought these off eBay for approximately like £15 each, which I think Crash of the Titans still roughly goes for it, and I think this one does go for about £20 to £30. So again, these ones are climbing up though, so keep your eye out. I'll show some comps as well. If you ever find those cheap, just pick them up. They hold their value, and I think they will continue to hold their value. This one here, whether or not it holds its value, hard to say for sure. Lollipop Chainsaw, again, a lot of people know this is like a good hidden gem, hack and slash. Grasshopper Studios, good renowned developer. I paid £4 for this, still got the receipt in here. £4 for this one, and this one is at least £30 now. PlayStation 3 version is much more valuable, but I don't collect for PlayStation 3, don't even own one to be honest. But yeah, that one is getting a remake, so that one should probably come down, or it might even spike because there's interest in the game. So again, if you want to pick up, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. So this one here, Rambo the video game. This one I think is just going to keep getting rarer and rarer. Again, it's a licensed game. It's one of those ones where it's not a good game, but they went on to make Terminator Resistance, I believe it's called. This one is complete. I think I paid like £9 for this one, which for a 360 game, that to me is a lot. But this one is, again, about £20 at the minute. It is climbing and climbing, so if you find this one, pick it up. So Spider-Man games, with like the release of No Way Home, they were all spiked. I did pick up all the Spider-Man games, so I'll highlight the rarest one, definitely Web of Shadows. This one currently sitting at about £40. I did buy this off CEX for £50 and got it delivered. I took a risk on it. I don't like buying the CEX online. Manual and disc are in there. But then, shortly after, I just looked up Xbox 360 games on eBay, and I happened to find a charity bundle with this Star Wars Force Unleashed and Lego Marvel Superheroes for £10. I bought it immediately, and I flipped the other copy of Spider-Man for approximately £40. I believe this was last year actually, but yeah, the games have came down a little bit, but I think they'll still hold their value. Spider-Man's popular licensed game, they're not going to get re-released probably, so definitely pick them up if you do find them cheap. The second last game I'll talk about in today's video, The Legend of Spyro. Again, it's one of those ones where this was just where the series was in a weird spot. Spyro's collectible, desirable. This one holds its value. I paid like £10 for it. I think this one goes for about 20 to 30 as well. It's one of those ones that is climbing. So if you do find it, hop on it, pick it up, flip it, and get other stuff for your collection if you don't want it. Or if you are a Spyro fan like myself, then definitely pick up and add it to your collection if you find this one cheap. So the last game I've got here, I'm going to check I've got the receipt in here. Nah, I know I didn't pay much for this one. This one has climbed up over the years. It is Tornado Outbreak. So again, just one of those obscure Konami releases. You go around as a tornado, suck things up. Think like Katamari, but you're a tornado instead. So this one is complete and does have the manual. I got this one out of CEX one day for about £10. Again, this was pre-COVID, and even then I knew it was an obscure title. So I just picked it up. I was like, yep, pick it up on a whim. And yeah, this one now sells for at least 60 in CEX. I know that, I looked up quite recently. And on eBay, it's hard to find. So I think this one is on the PlayStation 3 as well. It's also on the Nintendo Wii if you are able to find copies of that. But yeah, if you ever find this cheap or anything like that, definitely pick up. It's quite a cool game. Definitely Katamari's better, I would say. But, it's something you can pick up, if you do find it. And it's an expensive one. So again, makes great trade bait. So yeah, that's everything in today's video. So yeah, it's one of those ones where I just wanted to talk about the rare expensive items in your collection, my collection rather. But yeah, in the comments, let me know what rare items you've got picked up recently, worked towards, how you got it. I'm very interested. I love hearing stuff like that. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks and bye.